What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Welcome to Alex Sports Talk and Bets, the best sports channel on YouTube. But we gotta have an honest conversation about LeBron James, guys. Because nobody wants to be honest about LeBron James. Nobody wants LeBron James. All right, let's just get that elephant out of the room. All right, someone the caliber of LeBron James, who was just starting last year and still averaging 20 points, doesn't force his way off of a team with nowhere to go. Generally, if a player forces their release or says they're not going to resign or asks for a trade, it's because there's somewhere specifically that they want to go. They'll at least give you two teams most of the time. But in the case of LeBron, he gave no teams and no one came looking for him to the point where he got himself released and now he's just a free agent. When your agent comes out and says the words, and I quote, well, Braun will be ready to play for the veteran minimum. Let that breathe and run it back. They said LeBron James is ready to play for the veterans minimum. He is cooked, guys. It's over. It's over. And listen, there's a couple of big reasons why LeBron is cooked. All right, number one, he's 42 years old. Who in their right mind wants to build their team with a 42-year-old? Why is the 42-year-old even on the team? You know, generally if there's a 42-year-old on your team, he's just there to be on the bench and maybe like give some advice and tips and be a veteran presence. But there's no way he's there expecting to start or at least be a heavy contributor off your bench. You know, a 6th, 7th, 8th man, not at 42. Like, how do you insert a 42-year-old to your team and see it as anything but a one-year rental? And again, what's the point of 1 year renting a 42-year-old? So that's problem number one. He's too old. Problem number two, he comes with Bronny. Nobody wants Bronny. All right, Bronny shouldn't have been in the NBA in the first place. I don't have a problem with him getting there because I don't have a problem with nepotism. Nepotism has been around forever, and if no one has a problem with all the nepotism that goes on with the owners and the coaches and the GMs, then I don't really have a problem with it with the players. However, me not having a problem with something doesn't change the fact that Bronny's not good enough to be in the league. He was never good enough to be in the league. He really shouldn't be in the league. And chances are, if you were one of those teams who said we could use a 42-year-old small forward, 42-year-old wing player for 1 year, you would then most likely be required to sign Bronny to it. Nobody wants to do that because now you're wasting two roster spots, one on a 42-year-old and one on his son who sucks. Number three, Braun refuses to go to a bad team. Braun wants to go to a championship level team at 42 years old, probably bring his son who's trash. And he doesn't want to come off the bench or just sit on the bench and be a veteran presence. No, Braun wants to go somewhere where he could be a contributor. Braun actually wants you to call him. And no, I'm not making this up. He said it himself. He wants you to call him and pitch to him how his 42-year-old ASS can be an asset to your championship-ready team for what's most likely to be one season. And now he's out here wondering why no one's calling him and he may have to take a veteran's minimum. Why would you want LeBron at this point in time? Then he has the nerve to lower his stock further by Rich Paul. I don't know if LeBron told him to say this or Rich Paul was just high. I don't know what made this happen. But Rich Paul decided to come out. Rich Paul decided it was a good idea to come out and say, well, you know, when it comes to LeBron, he probably would have went to the Knicks. But he's not going to go now because they just won the championship. So essentially what you're saying is LeBron would have went to the Knicks if they were still in the championship drought. But because they're not, and he can't come and take all the credit, and he can't come and say, I ended it, and he can't come and be the king of New York, he doesn't even want to go there anymore. So it's really not even just about an opportunity to win the championship, because if that was the case, you'd take a veteran's minimum and go to New York. Now, don't get me wrong, I do not want LeBron James in New York. But saying that you care about being on a contender, but also saying you don't want to be on a team that just won the championship because they just won the championship is an oxymoron. If you want to be on a contender, you just take whatever opportunity you can get to get on a contender. What are we doing? I mean, this guy, LeBron's one of the corniest superstars of all time. He's one of the biggest egomaniacs of all time. And he pretty much just solidified it with that statement as soon as he said that. Because what are we talking about? So now you only want to go to a championship caliber team, and you only want to go there if they haven't won recently and you can take the credit for it. You're narrowing your choices. Now, it's almost like he's trying to make this a decision part two. But it's like you're trash now, bro, so nobody cares. So listen, here's the conclusion. This is where I think LeBron will end up if he doesn't retire, which I don't think he's going to, which I do think he should, but I don't think he's going to. This is what's going to happen. He has two choices, in my opinion. He could take his ass to Cleveland. Cleveland will never turn him down. Those are his guys. You know, that's his town. That's his city. They're technically contenders. You're not going to put them over the edge, right? But they are contenders. So you can go there, or you could go to Miami. At this point, Miami is not a championship contender, but they have Giannis and Bam, and they need a point guard, and LeBron tries to play point forward anyway, so you can go back to Miami, and he can make the playoffs and lose. He's going to make the playoffs and lose no matter which situation. He's got a better chance with the Cavs, but he needs to do one of those two things and stop this whole, I'm trying to figure out where I want to go, who's making a pitch. No one's making a pitch for LeBron. No one's making a pitch for LeBron. This is the reality issue. His fans can get mad, you know. And LeBron has some of the most glazing fans I have ever seen in my life. I mean, I've never seen, I know basketball is a players' league versus sports like football or baseball or even soccer, which is more team leagues. And you pick your team, you ride with your team. But the glazing of LeBron has been some of the nastiest I have ever seen. You got grown men out here talking about, so where we going, King? I repeat, we have grown men out here talking about, so where we going, King, and they're talking about another man. There's no way y'all should be glazing this hard. But those are the only two places that I think is viable for LeBron. But quite frankly, I don't think anyone wants him. So this has already been a humbling experience for him, whether he admits it or not. I suggest just going back to Cleveland. That'll make you feel better. They'll love you there. You'll get a big welcome. If you decide to go on a farewell tour, that's one of the best places to do it. Personally, that's why I think he should do. But I also don't think he'll have very many choices. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Where's LeBron going? Where's he going? I am Alex, and I am out, y'all. Peace.